Very good morning, everybody. Today we will be dealing with the back of the leg. So as you can see in the diagram, the back of the leg, we have two important contents that we see in the superficial fascia. These are the superficial veins, which are the great saphenous vein and the small saphenous vein. And we have some cutaneous vessel, cutaneous nerves here. The vessels, the superficial veins will deal with the veins of the lower limb. About the cutaneous nerves on the back of the leg are seven in number. We have the saphenous nerve, if you can see here, this nerve. The saphenous nerve supplies the skin on the medial side of the knee, on the medial side of the knee and the leg, and it goes up to the ball of the great toe. Then we have, so this is the saphenous nerve. Then we have the medial cutaneous nerve of thigh, the posterior division of the medial cutaneous nerve of thigh, which supplies the skin of the uppermost part of the middle 1/3 of the calf. Then we have the posterior cutaneous nerve of the thigh, the sural nerve, the sural communicating nerve, the lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh, and the medial calcaneal branch of the tibial nerve. Now, the important topic is the flexor retiniculum. The flexor retiniculum is a thick, broad band of deep fascia which is present on the medial side of the ankle. It lies behind and below the medial malleolus. So this thick band, which is about 2.5 centimeters broad, is your flexor retiniculum. The function of flexor retiniculum, as you have seen retiniculum in other parts of the body and in the foot, in the leg as well, the main function is to keep the tendons and the nerves in position. Now, when we talk about the attachment of the flexor retiniculum, it is attached above or anteriorly. It is attached to the tip of the medial malleolus, the posterior border and the tip of the medial malleolus. Inferiorly, or we can say posteriorly, it is attached to the calcaneal, the medial process of the calcaneal tuberosity. So above to the to the posterior border and the tip of the medial malleolus, and below it is attached to the calcaneal tuberosity. Now, what are the structures that pass deep to the flexor retiniculum? The structures that pass deep to the flexor retiniculum from medial to lateral side, they are remembered by the mnemonic. The doctors are not here. What are these? These are the tendon of the tibialis posterior muscle, most medially. Then we have the tendon of this tendon, that is the flexor digitorum longus. Then we have the artery, that is the posterior tibial artery. We have the tibial nerve, and we have the tendon of flexor hallucis longus muscle. So what are the structures? The structures are, the doctors are not here. These are the tibialis posterior, the flexor digitorum longus, the artery, nerve, and then the flexor hallucis longus muscle. So here you can see it forms a canal through which these structures pass to the foot. Okay, so this is a cut section. This is the talus. This is the medial malleolus. This is the lateral malleolus. You're looking at it from the back. This is the retiniculum. Now, what are the structures that pass through it? We have the tibialis posterior, the flexor digitorum longus. Here you will have the retiniculum, and then we have the artery, nerve, and the flexor hallucis longus tendon. Now, there is a clinical condition that is associated with it that is known as the tarsal tunnel syndrome. What happens here? The tibial nerve, if it is compressed deep to the flexor retiniculum, it leads to a clinical condition that is known as tarsal tunnel syndrome. It presents as burning, tingling sensation and pain in the sole of the foot. These symptoms are relieved by dividing the flexor retiniculum surgically. Basically, the tibial nerve is passing deep to the flexor retiniculum. So यहाँ से अगर आप देखोगे फ्लेक्सर रेटिनिकुलम के डीप की पास होता है प्लस मीडियल मेडियस के पीछे जाता है कोई भी कंडीशन जिसकी वजह से ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो जाएगा ये इसको कंप्रेस करेगा जिसकी वजह से जो एरियाज दैट आर सप्लाइड बाय दिस tibial nerve उसमें पेन टिंगलिंग और नमनेस सेंसेशन होती है इसको हम लोग टार्सल टनल सिंड्रोम कहते हैं जैसे कि आप लोगों ने कार्पल टनल सिंड्रोम अपर लिम्ब में देखा था ओके नाउ Coming to the posterior compartment of the leg, whole of this is the posterior compartment of the leg. Posterior compartment of the leg bulky hota hai. It is divided by two transverse facial septa, a deep and a superficial one, into three compartments. The three compartments are the superficial part, the middle part, and the deeper part. Okay, so whole of this is the posterior compartment. It is divided by two transverse septa into a deeper, an intermediate, and a superficial part. The superficial part contains three important muscles. These are the superficial muscles of the back of the leg, which are the gastrocnemius, the soleus, and the plantaris muscle. The middle part contains two important muscles, which are the flexor hallucis longus muscle, the flexor digitorum longus muscle, and then we have the posterior tibial artery and the nerves here. Then the deeper part, that is close to the interosseous membrane, it contains one muscle, that is the tibialis posterior muscle. Okay, so superficial to deep जाएंगे, तीन पहले muscles जो आएंगे, that is the soleus and the gastrocnemius और plantaris. Middle वाले में flexor hallucis longus and flexor digitorum longus or vessels, or deeper part में tibialis posterior muscle. Okay. Now, so what are the contents of the posterior compartment? All of these muscles and these arteries and the nerve here. Okay. So the contents we see in the posterior compartment are the muscles, which can be divided into superficial and deeper group of muscles. The superficial muscles are the gastrocnemius, the soleus, and the plantaris, whereas the deeper muscles are the popliteus, the flexor digitorum longus, the flexor hallucis longus, and the tibialis posterior muscle. The artery we see here are the tibial and the posterior tibial and the peroneal artery, and the nerves that we see here are the tibial nerve. Now, so this is a diagram that shows the first layer of muscles, that is a superficial muscle. So we have the gastrocnemius head, we have the soleus head. The gastrocnemius has been cut. On the surface of soleus, we see a long tendon that belongs to the muscle, that is the plantaris muscle. Here we have an important tendon that is known as the Achilles tendon. So this is the gastrocnemius, the Achilles tendon, the plantaris, the soleus muscle. Now, coming to the origin, coming to the muscles in detail. So the gastrocnemius muscle, it is the largest and the most superficial muscle of the posterior compartment of the leg. It has two heads. We have a medial head and we have a lateral head. The medial head is large and it arises by a broad, flat tendon. As you can see here, it arises by a broad and a flat tendon. It arises from the posterior superior surface of the medial femoral condyle behind the adductor tubercle. So adductor tubercle के पीछे से आता है posterior superior surface of medial femoral condyle से आता है, medial side का तो medial side से आएगा, lateral side का होगा lateral side से आएगा, ठीक है, मगर इसका जो origin होगा वो broader होगा, ठीक. It also arises from the adjoining part of the popliteal surface of femur, ठीक. Then we have the lateral head. The lateral head arises from the lateral surface of the lateral femoral condyle. When we look at it, the two heads joined together, they form a fleshy belly. This fleshy belly in the middle of the leg, it forms a thin epineurotic tendon. This tendon then joins with a tendon of the soleus muscle, and it forms a tendocalcaneum या tendoachilles, and this is inserted into the posterior surface of the calcaneum. The posterior surface of this calcaneum is divided into upper, middle, and a lower part. So this is inserted into the middle of the posterior surface of the calcaneum muscle. So again, this is the most superficial and is the largest superficial muscle जो back में present होता है. दो heads होते हैं. Medial head जो broader आता है, arise करता है posterior superior surface of medial femoral condyle से adductor tubercle के पीछे से. जो smaller head है, that is a lateral head, arises from the lateral femoral condyle. It forms a belly in the middle of the leg, forms a tendon. This tendon is joined with the tendon of soleus and form the tendon of Achilles and is inserted into the middle one third of the posterior surface of the calcaneum, as you can see here. Okay. Now, both the heads of this muscle are supplied by the tibial nerve, and they are supplied in the popliteal fossa. What are the actions of this muscle? It is a chief plantar flexor of the foot at the ankle when the knee is extended. आप knee को extend करिए, उसके बाद plantar flexion. उसमें gastrocnemius, you can feel the contraction of the gastrocnemius muscle. It is also a flexor of the knee joint, and the important thing is that gastrocnemius is used during movements of foot during the running and jumping. ये क्यों important है? क्योंकि soleus हम देखेंगे कि किसी और टाइम पे काम करता है मगर सेम एक्शन करता है. सो जब आप दौड़ते हो और आप जंपिंग कर रहे हो, जो मसल काम करता है वो कौन सा है? वो gastrocnemius है. ओके, I hope it's clear. Okay. Now, this is a diagram in which you can see that the gastrocnemius has been removed. So below the gastrocnemius, here we see two important muscles, which the main bulkiest muscle is the soleus, and then we have a smaller muscle that is the plantaris here, the tendon of plantaris. Okay. Now, okay, there is a condition that is known as tennis leg, in which what happens here, as in this tennis leg, normally it is a painful calf injury in which there is a tear or strain in the medial head of gastrocnemius because it has a musculotendinous junction पे due to overstretching. So क्योंकि इसका musculotendinous origin है, वहां पे overstretching की वजह से इसमें पेन हो सकता है, जिसको हम लोग टेनिस लेग कहते हैं. Okay, now talking about soleus. Soleus important muscle है, टॉफ में लिखने को आता है. ठीक है. So soleus, it is a multipinnate muscle. It lies deep to the gastrocnemius. It is known as soleus because it resembles flat fish. Now, when we look at the origin of soleus, as you can see here, ये diagram बनाओगे आप लोग एग्जाम में, इसमें सारा कवर हो जाता है. So soleus का origin जो होता है वो horseshoe shaped है. As you can see here, it is horseshoe shaped. ठीक है. It arises from the posterior aspect of head of fibula, upper 1/4 of posterior surface of shaft of fibula. So fibula के head से भी आ रहा है और posterior surface 1/4 से भी आ रहा है. फिर tendinous arch connecting the tibia and the fibula, उससे आता है. The soleal line and the middle 1/3 of medial border of the tibia. So this forms a horseshoe-shaped origin. Again, we have, it arises from the posterior aspect of the head of fibula, upper 1/4 of the posterior surface of shaft of fibula, the tendinous arch connecting the tibia and the fibula, the soleal line, and the middle 1/3 of the medial border of the tibia. The muscle forms a large, massive belly. Then it joins with the tendon Achilles tendon. It basically joins with the tendon of gastrocnemius, forms the tendon Achilles, and it is inserted into the middle 1/3 of the posterior surface of the calcaneum. Okay. So horseshoe shape याद रखना, और soleus का main bulkiest muscle है, tendon Achilles बनाता है, middle 1/3 of the posterior surface of calcaneum में insert करता है. Now, when we talk about the nerve supply of this muscle, nerve supply इसमें दोनों ये दो ब्रांचेस से सप्लाई होती है. दोनों ब्रांचेस हमारे पास टिबियल नर्व की ही होती हैं. एक ब्रांच पॉप्लिटियल फोसा में आती है और एक ब्रांच इसको लेग में सप्लाई करती है. अगर आपको याद नहीं रहता बस टिबियल नर्व काफी है. ठीक है. Now, when we talk about the action of this muscle, it is a plantar flexor, जैसे कि gastrocnemius था. Same way, it is a plantar flexor of the foot at the ankle joint, and it steadies the leg on the foot during standing, जब आप खड़े हो. ठीक है. दूसरी चीज, ये स्लो एक्टिंग होता है मगर पावरफुल होता है गैस्ट्रोक्नेमियस के मुकाबले में. यानी ये हेल्प करता है जब आप नॉर्मल वॉक करते हो उसमें ये एक्ट करता है. दैट मीन्स ये हम बोल सकते हैं कि ये एक बॉटम गियर की तरह एक्ट करता है और गैस्ट्रोक्नेमियस एक टॉप गियर की तरह एक्ट करता है जब यू आर ट्राइंग टू रन और एंड जंप. ओके. सो soleus और गैस्ट्रोक्नीमियस दोनों का सेम एक्शन होता है, दोनों प्लांटर फ्लेक्सर्स होते हैं, ओके। मगर गैस्ट्रोक्नीमियस का काम होता है कब, जब आप लोग रनिंग कर रहे हो या जंपिंग कर रहे हो, वेयर सोलियस का काम कब होता है, जब आप नॉर्मल वॉक करते हो तब इसका काम होता है, और ये मोर पावरफुल होता है देन द गैस्ट्रोक्नीमियस मसल, ओके। देन दूसरी चीज यहाँ पे इंपॉर्टेंट है, जो मैंने आप लोगों को पहले भी क्लास में बोली थी, कि बॉडी में हम लोग 3 ट्राइसेप्स बोलते हैं। एक ट्राइसेप्स ब्रेकाई है जो बाजू में है, एक ट्राइसेप्स कॉक्से है जिसमें आपके 3 मसल्स आते हैं, और 3 हेड्स आते हैं, गेमेलाई और उसको जो मैं बता चुकी हूँ, और आपके गैस्ट्रोक्नीमियस 2 हेड्स ऑफ गैस्ट्रोक्नीमियस अलोंग विद द सोलियस, इसको हम लोग ट्राइसेप्स स्यूरे मसल कहते हैं, जो कि आपको वाइवा क्वेश्चन है, ट्राइसेप्स स्यूरे मसल कहते हैं, ठीक है। एक ये चीज। दूसरी चीज, कभी कभी जो लेटरल हेड ऑफ गैस्ट्रोक्नीमियस होता है उसमें एक सेसेमोइड बोन मिलती है, इसको फेबुला कहते हैं। जो मीडियल हेड ऑफ गैस्ट्रोक्नीमियस है उसके नीचे कभी कभी एक बर्सा होता है जिसको ब्रूडीज बर्सा कहते हैं, ठीक है। इसके अलावा अगर हम लोग इस टेंडो एक्यूलीज की बात करेंगे या एक्यूलीज टेंडन की बात करेंगे, ये इट्स अ कंजॉइंट टेंडन of insertion of gastrocnemius and soleus muscle, thickest and strongest tendon of the body and longest tendon of the body. It's about 15 centimeters long. It acts as a prime mover of plantar flexor of foot at the ankle joint. So, काम क्या है? Plantar flexion करना, ठीक है? Now, another important viva question as well as जो लिखने के लिए आता है, that is what is peripheral heart, ठीक है? So, calf muscles जो हैं, calf muscles and even my gastrocnemius or soleus, mainly your soleus, it acts as a peripheral heart. What do you mean by a peripheral heart? You know that the venous return from the lower limb is facilitated, यानी उसको हेल्प करता है venous return को lower limb से ऊपर चढ़ने के लिए muscles की contraction, ठीक है। So gastrocnemius और soleus दोनों एक साथ एक calf pump बनाते हैं, जिसकी वजह से venous return lower limb से ऊपर चढ़ता है। For instance, ये है जो हमारा सोलियस होता है, उसके बीच में साइनसेस होते हैं, ठीक है। ये हमारी वेसल है फॉर इंस्टेंस, इसमें हमारे वाल्व्स हैं, वाल्व्स में ऊपर से ही सिर्फ ब्लड आता है नॉर्मली, ठीक है। यहाँ से हमें ब्लड ऊपर नहीं जाता, मगर जब हमें वीनस रिटर्न करना है तो हमें लोअर लिम्ब से ऊपर एंटी ग्रेविटी की तरफ से जाना है। तो एंटी ग्रेविटी के लिए क्या होता है, ये मसल्स बहुत बल्की होते हैं। सो सोलियस क्या करता है, इट हेल्प्स, और जब ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करता है, इट increases the venous return, okay. So that is why it is known as the peripheral heart. So I said the gastrocnemius and the soleus together make calf muscle pump, which facilitates the venous return from the lower limb. The soleus muscle is regarded as a peripheral heart because it houses large venous sinuses known as the soleal sinuses. These soleal sinuses will communicate with the superficial veins by perforating veins and with the deep veins directly. Thus, contraction of the soleal muscle helps in sucking the blood from superficial veins and propelling it into the deeper veins. ये mechanism कैसे होता है, अभी के लिए बस आप ये समझिए कि contract करता है और ये help करता है blood flow को against gravity जाने में। जो ज़्यादा डिटेल है वो हम लोग venous drainage में पढ़ेंगे, जो कि बहुत important है, okay? Now, the third muscle, or we can say the third tendon we see here, is the plantaris tendon. Plantaris muscle, it is a small muscle जिसकी छोटी बेली होती है, लॉन्ग टेंडन होता है, नॉर्मली ये वेस्टिजियल है। 5 to 10% पेशेंट्स में ये देखा ही नहीं जाता है, इसीलिए जिसमें होगा, अगर हमें टेंडन ग्राफ्टिंग कहीं करनी होगी, वहां हम लोग प्लांटारिस को यूज करते हैं फॉर टेंडन ग्राफ्टिंग। फॉर एग्जांपल देयर आर रिकंस्ट्रक्शन सर्जरी जो कि हम लोगों को यूज करनी है, टेंडन हैंड्स के टेंडन कहीं खराब हो गया, उसके लिए हम लोग ये यूज कर सकते हैं क्योंकि ये वेस्टिजियल है, ठीक है। व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द ओरिजिन, इट अराइजेस फ्रॉम द, as you can see here, this is the origin, that is lower part of the lateral supracondylar line of the femur. Then what happens, the tendon blends with the medial margin of the tendon of Achilles के साथ करता है, and is inserted into middle 1/3 of the calcaneum, posterior surface of calcaneum, but it is attached medial to the attachment of the tendon of Achilles के medially जाके लग जाता है. So middle 1/3 of the posterior surface of the calcaneum, medial to the tendon of Achilles. So these muscles, these three muscles, various superficial muscles, that were the gastrocnemius, the soleus, that were together known as triceps surae, and we had a plantaris muscle, जो कि एक vestigial muscle है. The gastrocnemius और soleus में आप लोगों ने याद रखा कि gastrocnemius plantar flexor है जब आपको running और jumping करनी है, और soleus है mainly जब आप लोगों को normal walk करना है. इसके अलावा soleus सबसे bulkiest muscle है, दोनों का insertion Achilles tendon के through होता है, posterior surface के middle 1/3 में होता है. दोनों प्लांटर फ्लेक्सर्स हैं, ठीक है. इसके अलावा दोनों को हम लोग मेनली सोलियस को हम लोग हमारे पास पेरिफेरल हार्ट कहते हैं, ठीक है. इसके अलावा अब हमारे डीपर मसल्स आते हैं. डीपर मसल्स में हमारे आते हैं सबसे पहले हमारा पॉप्लिटियस मसल आता है, जो कि आप लोगों ने पॉप्लिटियल फॉसा के फ्लोर में भी देखा था. जो पॉप्लिटियस मसल होता है ये भी आप लोगों को प्रॉप में लिखने के लिए आ सकता है, ठीक है. सो इट्स अ थिन फ्लैट एंड अ ट्रायंगुलर मसल. इट फॉर्म्स द इंफीरियर पार्ट ऑफ द फ्लोर ऑफ द पॉप्लिटियल फॉसा. When we talk about the origin, the important thing here is that it is intracapsular but extra synovial. What do you mean by that? The capsule of the knee joint के अंदर होगा, मगर it won't be covered by the synovial membrane. I will be dealing with it in the knee joint. Okay. Now, when we look at the origin of this muscle, it arises from the popliteal groove that is present on the lateral surface of the femoral condyle, lateral femoral condyle. It also arises from the lateral meniscus, and it arises from the arcuate popliteal ligament. Okay, so we have three origins. We have the popliteal groove that is present on the lateral surface of the lateral femoral condyle. We have the lateral meniscus, and we have the arcuate popliteal ligament. The muscle is inserted into the middle 2/3 of the triangular area above the soleal line. यहाँ पे आप लोगों ने soleal line पे देखा था soleus लगता था. सोलियल लाइन के ऊपर का जो ट्रायंगुलर एरिया है इसमें हमारा पॉप्लिटियस सबसे छोटा ट्रायंगुलर मसल है, पॉप्लिटियल ग्रूव से आता है और हमारा सोलियस के ऊपर की लाइन पे जाके लग जाता है. Okay. Now, the popliteus muscle is supplied by a nerve to the popliteus, which is given off in the popliteal fossa. There were some important Viva questions that were associated with the nerve to the popliteus, which I have discussed in the popliteal fossa. ये क्रॉस करती है, फिर popliteal की अंडर सरफेस पे जाती है, वहां से सप्लाई करती है popliteus को. In addition to supplying the popliteus, there are some other structures that are also supplied by this nerve. Now, what are the actions of this muscle? The muscle unlocks the locked knee by rotating the femur laterally during initial stages of flexion of the knee. अभी के लिए आप लोग बस याद रखिए, बाद में knee joint में after we study the tibia and the knee joint, this sentence will become more clear because we will be discussing locking and unlocking of the knee joint there. Okay, so it unlocks the locked knee. ठीक है, देयर इज एक चीज होती है इसको हम बोलते हैं नी का लॉक होना, वो मैं दिखाऊंगी आपको कैसे होता है. सो इट अनलॉक्स द लॉक नी बाय रोटेटिंग द फीमर लेटरली ड्यूरिंग द इनिशियल स्टेजेस ऑफ फ्लेक्शन ऑफ द नी. इट आल्सो पुल्स द लेटरल मेनिस्कस बैकवर्ड्स एंड प्रिवेंट्स it from being trapped and crushed between the condyles of femur and tibia, क्योंकि इसका origin भी वहां से हो रहा है. ठीक है, उसके बाद it flexes the knee during couching. क्योंकि इसका ओरिजिन भी लेटरल मेनिस्कस से होता है, सो जब ये खींचेगा ये क्या करेगा, ये तो उसको खींचेगा, वो लॉकिंग अनलॉकिंग बाद में देखेंगे. अभी के लिए इसके अलावा मैंने कहा इट पुल्स द लेटरल मेनिस्कस backwards and prevents it from being trapped and crushed between the two condyles of femur and the tibia. Okay, so लिखने के लिए आपको पॉप्लिटियस आ सकता है और सोलियस और गैस्ट्रोक्नेमियस आ सकता है. ठीक है. Then another deeper muscle, that is the flexor digitorum longus muscle. The flexor digitorum longus muscle, it arises from the upper 2/3 of the medial part of the posterior surface of the tibia below the soleal line. Below the soleal line, हम surface of tibia को दो parts में divide करते हैं, एक medial part होता है और एक lateral part होता है. जो medial part है उसके upper 2/3 से हमारे पास flexor digitorum longus आता है. ठीक है. Then ये कहाँ जाता है? Flexor digitorum longus नीचे जाता है and it is inserted into the plantar surface of the base of the distal phalanx of the lateral foretoes में जाता है, ठीक है? Lateral foretoes में जाता है. It is supplied by the tibial nerve. इसका क्या काम होगा? It will plantar flex the lateral foretoes का plantar flexion करेगा. इसके साथ साथ plantar flexion of the ankle joint भी करेगा. And it also maintains the medial longitudinal arch of the foot. Three main functions of this muscle. So this is the flexor digitorum longus. Soleal line के नीचे जो shaft है उसको medial और lateral parts में divide करते हैं. Posterior surface से medial 2/3 से ये आता है. मतलब मीडियल के अपर 2/3 से ये आता है, नीचे जाता है फ्लेक्सर रेटिकुलम के डीप, जो कि मैंने आप लोगों को दिखाया, ठीक है? उसके बाद ये जाता है, सब डिवाइड करता है 4 टेंडन्स में, 4 टेंडन जाते हैं और ये डिस्टल फैलेंक्स ऑफ सेकंड टू फिफ्थ रो यानी लेटरल फोरटोज में चला जाता है, ठीक है? काम क्या होगा? जब ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करेगा, ये प्लांटर फ्लेक्शन ऑफ दीज टोज करेगा, प्लांटर फ्लेक्शन ऑफ एंकल जॉइंट करेगा, ठीक है? और मीडियल लॉन्गिट्यूडनल आर्च को मेंटेन करेगा. Then we have another muscle, that is the flexor hallucis longus muscle. The flexor hallucis longus muscle arises from the lower 3/4 of the posterior surface of the fibula behind the median crest. There is a median crest इसके पीछे से. So lower ये आप लोगों को याद करना, I can't help you in this. So lower 3/4 of the posterior surface of fibula behind the median crest and adjoining part of the interosseous membrane से आता है हमारा ये muscle. ये muscle जब नीचे जाता है, ये ग्रूव करता है 2 bones को. That is the talus. Okay, so we know here we have the talus. So it grooves 2 bones, talus between its medial and posterior tubercle and the calcaneum below the sustentaculum tali. This will become clear when we will be dealing with the foot. So it grooves the posterior surface of the talus here, and it also passes deep to the sustentaculum tali. Sustentaculum tali of the calcaneum. Okay. Now, this muscle goes and it is inserted into the base of the plantar surface of the distal phalanx of the great toe. It's supplied by the tibial nerve. इसका काम भी क्या है? Plantar flexion of the great toe, plantar flexion of the ankle joint, and it supports the medial longitudinal arch of the foot. Then, the muscle that is present in the most deepest layer, that is the tibialis posterior muscle. The tibialis posterior muscle arises from the upper 2/3 of the lateral part of the posterior surface of tibia. Below the soleal line, दो parts में divide किया था, medial और lateral में. Medial से तुम्हारा flexor digitorum longus आ रहा था, lateral part से आप लोगों का tibialis posterior आएगा. So upper 2/3 of the lateral part of the posterior surface of tibia, posterior part of the interosseous membrane, and upper 2/3 of the posterior surface of this fibula as well. Posterior surface of interosseous membrane and posterior surface of the fibula as well. This muscle goes down. It grooves the back of the medial malleolus of the tibia. Then it is inserted in all the tarsal bones except the talus, especially into the tuberosity of the navicular bone. And then it slips and is inserted into the base of second, third, and the fourth metatarsal. So mainly it is chiefly inserted into the tuberosity of the navicular bone. Then it splits and is inserted into the tarsals, and it is inserted into the bases of second, third, fourth metatarsals. It is an inverter of the foot and maintains the medial longitudinal arch of the foot. So this is your tibialis posterior muscle. Now, coming to the arterial supply that we see on the back of the leg, here we can see 2 arteries. We have the posterior tibial artery, and we have a branch of posterior tibial artery, that is the peroneal artery. Let's talk about the posterior tibial artery first. the posterior tibial artery is the larger terminal branch of the popliteal artery. जैसे हमने हर artery में पढ़ा, we will talk about the origin, the course, the termination, and the branches of the artery. So it is a branch of the popliteal artery given off at the lower border of the popliteus muscle, larger terminal branch. In addition to supplying the posterior compartment, it also supplies the lateral compartment of the leg, and it supplies the sole of the foot as well. After originating from, after the popliteal artery divides into two branches, the posterior tibial artery, it passes deep to this tendinous origin of the soleus muscle, as you can see here. Then in the leg, it runs downwards along with the tibial nerve. It runs down and then midway between the medial malleolus and the medial tubercle of the calcaneum. Then it terminates deep to this flexor retiniculum by dividing into a larger lateral plantar artery and a smaller medial plantar artery. Dobara. So the posterior tibial artery is a larger terminal branch of the popliteal artery. It supplies the posterior compartment as well as the lateral compartment of the leg. It is given off at the lower border of the popliteus muscle. Then it passes through the tendinous origin of the soleus muscle. It runs in the leg along with the tibial nerve till it reaches the midpoint of the medial malleolus and the medial tubercle of the calcaneum. Below the flexor retiniculum, it divides into a lateral and a medial plantar artery. Okay. Now, talking about the main, the main branches of this artery. So, okay. So what are the branches of this artery? The most important branch of this artery is the peroneal artery, which is the largest and the most important branch of the posterior tibial artery. It is given off at about 2.5 centimeters distal to the inferior border of the popliteus muscle. Then, important viva question, we have a nutrient artery. So we have a peroneal artery or the fibular artery. Then we have the nutrient artery that goes to the tibia. The nutrient artery that goes to the tibia is the largest nutrient artery of the body. Again, a viva question. Then we have muscular branches that go to the different muscles of the posterior compartment of the leg. We have a circumflex fibular artery. We have communicating branches which join small branches of the peroneal artery. Then lower down, we have a medial malleolar branch. We have calcaneal branch, and then we have these terminal branches. You can make this diagram in your exam. Okay, so ये पूरा कोर्स दिखा रही है सोलियस को प्लेस करता हुआ फ्लेक्सर रेटिकुलम के नीचे दो टर्मिनल ब्रांचेस में, लेटरल प्लांटर में और मीडियल प्लांटर में. इसके अलावा we have a circumflex fibular artery, we have peroneal artery that is the largest branch, we have tibial nutrient artery that is the largest nutrient artery in the body, we have muscular branches to different muscles, we have a malleolar branch, medial malleolar branch जो कि posteriorly जाएगी to the medial malleolus. We have a branch that goes to the calcaneum that is known as the calcaneal branch. We have a medial plantar artery and we have a lateral plantar artery. Okay, so posterior tibial pulse can be felt against the calcaneum about 2 centimeters below and behind the medial malleolus. 2 centimeter below and behind the medial malleolus, posterior tibial artery की pulse आप देख सकते हो. Since the posterior tibial artery lies deep to the flexor retiniculum, it is important that you ask the patient to invert his foot to relax the flexor retiniculum. Okay, so this finishes your posterior tibial artery. Then we have another important artery here, that is the peroneal artery. So peroneal artery किसकी branch है? Posterior tibial artery की branch है. कहाँ दी जाती है? 2.5 centimeter below the lower border of the popliteus देते हैं. ठीक है. Then what does it do? It runs obliquely towards the fibula and then descends along the medial crest of fibula in a fibrous canal between the tibialis posterior muscle and flexor hallucis longus muscle. It runs down. It runs down It passes behind the inferior tibiofibular joint and the ankle joint, and then it ends on the lateral surface of the calcaneum by terminating into lateral calcaneal arteries. So यहाँ से हमारी medial branches थी, यहाँ से हमारी lateral calcaneal artery जो है वो हमारे पास branches होंगी of the peroneal artery. Okay, so what are the different branches of this artery? We have muscular branches that go to the posterior and the lateral compartment of the leg. We have nutrient artery to the fibula. We have some communicating branches. We have perforating branches. Perforating branch which is large and pierces the interosseous membrane about 5 centimeter above the ankle joint. Here you can see here. Okay, of the ankle joint. And then it comes in the anterior compartment and terminates by anastomoting with the lateral malleolar branch of the anterior tibial artery and the dorsalis pedis artery. So here you can see. Okay, then we have the lateral then we have the lateral calcaneal artery. Lateral calcaneal artery is terminal branch which takes part in anastomosis and formation of the lateral malleolar network. Okay. Then talking about the nerve supply of this area, the nerve supply of this area is by the tibial nerve, which is larger terminal branch of the sciatic nerve. It arises on the back of the thigh at the junction of upper two-third, as you can see here. So large terminal branch of the sciatic nerve in the lower third of the back of the thigh. It descends through the popliteal fossa at the distal border of popliteus. It continues and its name changes to posterior tibial nerve in the leg. It lies on the posterior aspect of the tibialis posterior muscle. The nerve accompanies the posterior tibial artery and lies at first on its medial side, then crosses posterior to it and finally lies on its lateral side. The nerve with the artery passes behind the medial malleolus between the tendon of flexor digitorum longus and flexor hallucis longus. It is covered by the flexor retiniculum and here it divides into medial and lateral plantar artery nerves. What are the branches? We have muscular branches to the different muscles. We have cutaneous branches, that is a medial calcaneal branch which supplies the skin over the medial surface of the heel. We have articular branches to the ankle joint, and we have medial and lateral plantar nerves. So this finishes the back of leg. We will be dealing with the locking and unlocking of the knee joint in our lecture of the knee. Thank you.